Today I'm going to make some little labels to hang on the side of some cake pops. I got some cake pops that were already pre-made at Walmart um, since we're making a pretty detailed cake with a friend of mine. And so for the cake pops, I'm just keeping it really simple, and I picked up some pre-made ones at Walmart, and we're going to cover them with a plastic cover and then use a little lime green curly ribbon, and then use these cute little 3D cutout tags with a butterfly. And it's actually going to be this exact color. The theme of the shower is these dark purples and lavenders and lime greens and turquoise. So I found this 3D cutout tag butterfly in the Silhouette online store, and I went ahead and downloaded it and purchased it. So you'll see there's two separate colors. So I'm going to need to cut out one of the backgrounds from the dark purple, and then the white I'll cut out on white cardstock. Now when you double click on it and put it on your page, you're going to notice that those are grouped together. And since I need to cut these out on two separate sheets of paper, I need to ungroup these and separate them. So I will highlight everything so the dimensions show and click ungroup. May need to do this a couple times for it to really do like it's supposed to. There we go. And just make sure all of this is still grouped together. Okay, so these I'm going to cut out of white cardstock, and these I'm going to cut out of purple cardstock. Now my purple is a 12 by 12, so I will fill those on a 12 by 12. These, however, I have 8.5 by 11 cardstock, so this page will be a different color. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that butterfly here, and I'm going to take this one, cut it out, and put it on this other new page I have over here, and click paste. So now that I have this circle located right here in this top corner, the first thing I'm going to do is fill this entire page with these background circles. So first I click on the object, make sure the dimensions show. Click on Object, Replicate, Fill Page. And there it automatically fits 16 of those circles perfectly on this page, so I'm able to cut it out on the Silhouette Cameo. Now to work on the butterfly portion. On here, I do want to type in her name and create her name on this label down here. So the first thing I'm going to need to do is ungroup all of these objects because I need to create an offset circle in order to have her name. So I'm going to go up here and open the offset window and do an internal offset. And that's a little thin, so I'm going to use the up arrow and make that a little bit bigger. Now in the process, I'm going to go ahead and select that inner circle and move it out because that is separate from the design that I'm actually working on. So now I'm going to just click Release Compound Path, and that takes that little circle out of there. It's important to do that or your words, your texts will want to wrap around that. So you'll see how this fits in there perfectly and is really showing where the words are going to be printed inside of that tag. So now I'm going to use my text tool, and let's say we'll go with 18-point font, and I will type out her name. Now from here, I want to make sure that this does not cut out. So I'm going to go to my cut style window and click No Cut. So now we know this will only print. It's not going to be cutting on us when we put it in there. All of these lines are in dark red, showing that they will be cut. But that line on the right will change as soon as we add this text to it. You'll notice it turns gray. That means it will not cut out. And with this little tool, I can make sure that all of those letters are perfectly sized inside of this circle. So now I'm going to fill these letters with the color that I want it to print. And we're going to go ahead and highlight everything and then go with a lavender color. There we go. Now as I'm looking at it, the spacing may be a little tight, so I'm going to zoom in just a little further and then see what this will look like in actual size and see if we can space that out a little bit better. So again, we'll select all of our letters and open the text style window, character spacing. We'll go ahead and increase this percentage just by a little bit. And you'll see those little blue spaces start coming apart as the letters are separating as it goes around. So that looks like a good spacing, but now my letters aren't centered, so I'm going to go ahead and make it until that rectangle meets. So that looks pretty good. We're just about there, and there we are, where they're both balanced on both sides of that rectangle, showing that we have it evenly spaced. So now I'm going to make sure my butterfly portion is all grouped. Now we're going to highlight everything, go to the Align window, open the Align window, and click Center. Now everything is perfectly centered, and again, where you see the gray line, it will not print or cut the gray line. It will only cut out the sections in red that I've highlighted right here, so the butterfly, the hole, and the circle, but you'll notice that inner circle is gray, so is her words. That means that is not going to cut out, and only the name will print. That butterfly will still be attached, and then it will print out the name. So the paper I'm using is 8.5 by 11. It's the Georgia Pacific white cardstock. So I want to make sure to group all of this before I try to move it. Then I'll move it to this upper corner, select the object itself. First, I'm going to show the registration marks because I really have this too high. Since this is a print and cut, I cannot forget to show the registration marks in that gray zone so that I don't miss on any of this design. So now that I have it there, I can click Object, Replicate, Fill Page. Now I notice a lot of blank spot here, so I'm going to go ahead and move these around and see how many more that I can go ahead and fit within the same page. I'm pretty sure I can get 9 of these on here. Okay, so now they all fit here just perfectly, and we're ready to cut these out on the Silhouette Cameo. I just wanted to show you really quickly that when you do that print and cut feature, this is what it'll look like. It'll put the registration marks here on the corners, and you'll notice, like I said, it does not print out that little circle, the faint circle that was around this. It's strictly a guideline. So now as I feed this into my silhouette, it will perfectly cut out all those little tags along with the pop-out butterfly. Okay, so now you can see they print and cut. They're still on my mat here, and I can take them off one by one. Now these butterflies are still connected, so when I lift, I want to be kind of careful, and then all I have to do is just bend up the little wings very gently. And so there's the top portion for the labels that are going to go on the cake pops. So now I'm going to cut out the backgrounds. I'm going to remove all of these and then cut out the backgrounds and layer those. So here is what's left of all 16 of those backgrounds being cut out. And so the tag ends up being about this size here. And then this, with the little pop-out butterfly, layers right on top of it. And all you have to do is line up those two circles for the ribbon to go through, and it's perfectly outlined. So I'm just going to use a little bit of quick dry. Again, you could use any type of adhesive. This one you could probably even get away with using your ATG if you wanted to. But just to be a little bit more secure, I'm going to go ahead and again use my Scotch glue quick dry adhesive. It really does dry quickly and it holds. I will not have to worry about humidity or anything like that with these things falling off of here. So I just line it up with that little circle, press down on my edges, and pop up my butterfly. And now we have some little tags that are ready for cake pops. And I'll put a picture of those as soon as we get all of those attached to our cake pops. Thanks for watching.